Welcome back to the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. Today I'm joined by Valerie Reid, the award-winning founder of Bright Eyes Beauty Massage based in Newbridge, County Kildare. With over 13 years of experience in the beauty and wellness industry, Valerie has created a peaceful home-based salon, a tranquil garden cabin where every treatment is personal, one-to-one, and completely tailored to her client needs. At Bright Eyes Beauty Massage, expertise meets care. Valerie specialises in advanced skin and facial treatments, including microneedling, rejuvenating therapies, and electrolysis for skin tag and blemish removal, helping women achieve healthy, radiant, and youthful skin. Alongside her advanced skincare work, she has also provided holistic therapies such as reflexology, pregnancy massage, and hot stone treatments, offering her clients a sanctuary where they can relax, unwind, and restore balance. You can find out more or book an appointment at brighteyesbeauty.ie. Link in the description below. I also ran a meta ad campaign for Valerie that achieved fantastic results, generating 26 leads and strong engagement locally. Not only is her website in the description below, but her contact details and social media links are there also. So, let's get into it. Valerie, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Jason. And you?
I'm good, and I'm delighted to have you on. I have worked with Valerie now for, I want to say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years, or is that a stretch?
Definitely a year and a half, anyway, definitely.
Yeah, because when we first started speaking, it was through Facebook, I believe. I was in Spain at the time, and
Yeah.
you were a member of the Kildare Business Support Group, so we weren't even working together at the time, and then we kind of developed a connection based off that.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
Very similar mentalities, and it's great because even taking out the work outside of it, when I need advice on business, because Valerie's in the business a long time, and amazing established business which you're going to hear about, I can go to her for advice. But if she needs advice on stuff as it pertains to, digital marketing and stuff like that, I help her. So it's a great dynamic.
It's a win-win situation.
It really is. So Valerie, first of all, tell us a bit about your business.
Okay, so Bright Eyes Beauty Massage will be, I'm going to say 13 years in business next month in October. Massage had always been a passion of mine, even as a young teenager. I did all my training while working full-time in a hugely stressful job. There's nobody else involved in the business. It's just me. I have built it up from a spare bedroom in my house to having my carport converted in our old house, to working full-time and doing this part-time, to working part-time and doing this part-time. And then eventually 3 years ago, I gave up my office job and decided that I was going to take a leap of faith into myself and run Bright Eyes Beauty Massage on a full-time basis. And it probably is the best decision, other than marrying my husband, I have to say that I've ever made.
The amazing Tony.
We moved house 3 years ago, and 2 years ago we built this amazing cabin that you have been in a couple of times, and everybody loves the cabin. There's such a warm, relaxing atmosphere in it. It's been a game changer, absolutely. Stressful, but a game changer.
Yeah, the cabin has become very popular with business owners, and I completely agree with you as it pertains to the atmosphere there. I think I've shot content now maybe 3 or 4 times for you actually in the cabin, and I can definitely attest to that. And I thought it very interesting there what you spoke to me about, going from a job then going full time into this. And I know you're thankful you made that decision, and obviously it's paid off for you. But did you feel a massive fear about doing that? Because that's
oh my God, yeah, it was huge. I was leaving a job with a guaranteed salary every month. I was taking a leap of faith that I would have enough clients coming in the door, that I'd be still able to pay all my bills, because I still have the exact same bills to pay that I had when I worked in the office. But as my husband said to me at the time, he said, "You've nothing to lose and everything to gain." He said, "You're not the kind of I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit around and do nothing. So if this hadn't have worked, I would have just gone out and got a job, and that's it." But thankfully, this has worked better than I ever expected it to. It's. I'm so thankful for all my clients trusting me with their transformations, with their problems and their massages and that. It's yeah, it's very humbling how they trust me to look after them.
It is very, very true that that fear is there. I had the same thing. You're kind of second guessing yourself, saying, "Oh my God, is this the right decision? Is this the wrong decision?" When you're going out on your own, because people don't actually realize the mental stress that
Oh
comes with
yeah,
making
it's
such a
huge.
decision.
Yeah, yeah, it's huge because like everything is on you. You know what I mean? Like you're not, you've nobody to bounce off really. At the
No.
end of the day, it's all down to you. You have to do the work. You have to do everything. Like you're doing advertising, you're doing social media, you're doing accounts, you're doing cleaning, you're doing the treatments, everything. You know, and you've got to show up every
Yeah.
single day. So there's no such thing when you run your own business, much and all as you might want it, there's no such thing as a day off because you're constantly doing something in relation to the business, be it social media while you're sitting there having a glass of wine or whatever, but you're constantly working. I know I am anyway. I never turn off. I find it very hard to turn off.
Yeah, you're constantly going because, as we were saying in the beginning, I do social media for Valerie, but Val posts herself. So it's not unusual for me to get a load of notifications on my phone from you posting at like 9:30 a new
Yeah, yeah.
treatment that you have. So that's 100% correct. You're constantly going, and it's true. It never ends. Like it
No,
doesn't matter if you're in another country on holiday with your family. You're still in the back of your head thinking, yeah, I wonder did the phone go off, the business phone, or I check my emails. It's never over,
no,
is it?
no. Well, I have my work emails on my personal phone as well as my own emails. Now I do have a separate phone for the business that I do leave at home if I go away. But then, like the first thing I do when I come home is turn that back on to see what have I missed? Have I
Yeah,
missed messages? Have I missed phone calls? Who have I to ring back? What have I do? And the problem with that is you can't if people send a message as opposed to a WhatsApp, you can't put an automatic reply on it to
I
say
think they
that
look
you're out of
terrible.
the country, which is a pain in the ass, right? Whereas with WhatsApp, at least you can have an automatic reply to say we're closed for a few days and blah blah blah. So it looks like you're ignoring people when you don't
Yeah,
answer them. But what can you do?
I always had a fear of putting that on. I always thought that looked bad. Just obviously everyone has to have their time off. Jesus, we're all human. But I find that at least with my clientele, that if I had that on, it wouldn't make a difference. That I'd still be ringing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, they
So
still do. Like you
yeah,
still get messages at 1 o'clock in the morning, like, but you just don't answer them. Like, I
oh
have my phone. Like, my work phone generally goes off at about 9 o'clock at night, every night.
yeah,
My personal phone goes on to complete silence when I go to bed, so I don't hear anything.
yeah, and you,
And
you
it's the
have to
only
have
way
that
to
cut
do
off.
it. Like, you need to have your sleep. Like, if
Yeah,
nothing
like
else.
a foolish thing I used to do in my business is that I'd work sometimes up to 14. I think last Christmas was my record. I think I want to say I worked 17 days in a row, and it gets to a point where it's silly because you're running yourself literally into the ground. So then when you're finished, you might have this sense of accomplishment, but you're
So you can't do anything
absolutely
because you're wrecked.
mentally drained. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
got
Yeah,
sick then last Christmas.
yeah,
But this is the thing though about running the business, and as you were saying, you were effectively speaking about life as a sole trader, where we have to do everything.
yeah,
Unless you're a sole trader who has employees, but most times they aren't. You're out on your own. You have to do everything: the accounts, the social media. So there's no such thing as a sick day. Um, you constantly have to show up. It's 100% accountability, and I
oh
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something people forget. Like I don't know if you ever heard this expression, but I always laugh when I hear it. it must be great being able to choose your own time off. And I'm just like, ah,
Yeah, so I went from an office
that's it.
job Monday to Friday. I used to work, what did I used to work? I worked 6 till 3, but that was it. I went home and I had time off and I had weekends off. So I went from that to a 7 day week, 24 hours a day.
Oh,
So
yeah. This
that's
is,
how it goes when you're on your own. Like you don't really switch off unless you're asleep. Then you can switch off. But then the phone beeps beside you. You know what I mean? And you
yeah,
wake up. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is reach for the phone. What have I missed? Who do I need to get back to? You know what I mean? You're trying to answer all these things. As I was saying to you the other week, I've barely had time to read the book we were talking about
oh, we have a
because
book
I've
club.
just every morning there's just been 101 things to do before I can even start work at 10 o'clock. So yeah, it's non-stop.
It is, and it's funny because we're talking a lot about the hardship that goes with running a business, but like I don't even think myself or yourself could actually go back into our respective sectors because I think
Oh
we're
God,
so
no.
used to being out on our own and doing things our
Yeah,
own
yeah,
way. We're nearly institutionalized to this
yeah.
way of life.
That's it exactly.
Um,
No, I don't think I could go back into an office again. I think I'd crack up if I had to do that. I mean, I love what I do. I love
yeah,
what I do. So, like, it doesn't matter what's going on. I love coming out to the cabin and just taking a deep breath and saying, okay, right, what are we doing today? And I love seeing people coming in the door. I love catching up with them and seeing what's going on with their lives and helping them feel better before they leave here, like be it with a massage, be it with a facial, helping them, find out what's best for their skin, um, sorting out problems with their muscles. It's all there, and I just love it. I love it, and I really don't think at this stage I'd like to do anything else.
no, you've definitely found your passion, and like it really is reflected in your clients who I've met on multiple occasions during the content days, where it's a lovely atmosphere in there. Whereas sometimes if you go into these places, and I can say that, where if you go into certain workplaces, there's an awkwardness,
Yes, yeah.
and it's never like that in the cabin with
No,
you.
a lot of my clients now would I would consider friends at this stage. Some of them are with me since the beginning for 13 years. So, we've laughed together, we've cried together, we've suffered through COVID together, we've had fantastic highs and terrible lows, and you know what I mean? So, like, it's not just a client and therapist relationship anymore. It is I would consider them a lot of them as friends. Yeah, definitely.
And people don't understand the difficulty in holding on to clients. And you've been successfully able to do that because of the high quality of what you do, but also your personality, making your clients feel comfortable because it's
Yeah.
such an
But
intimate
that's so important.
service you offer.
Yeah, it's so important that clients feel comfortable when they come in here. Um, like you're seeing them at their most vulnerable. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of the times, if they're having a massage, clients are stripping off. If they're having some intimate waxing, you're seeing everything. And they have to be comfortable with you and the person that's doing that for them, so that they would do want to come back. You know what I mean? And make even the worst of services as enjoyable as possible.
And let's break down these services a bit more so, Val. So, explain to me exactly the services you offer, just for clients who wouldn't be familiar with you.
Yeah, well, I offer quite a large range of all beauty and holistic therapies. So, facials and massages would probably be my most popular treatments. I use the amazing Julia Demand products, which I absolutely love. I use them on my own skin all the time. Um, they're amazing. Like, they really are amazing, and the results from the facials, even just from the basic everyday customized facial, um, the results are fantastic. Like, people's skin are glowing, it's hydrated. I then do a lot of advanced facials like microneedling, nanoneedling, polynucleoside microneedling. I do chemical peels. radio frequency, microphase intense, advanced electrolysis. And then, of course, we have massage. We do full body massage. I do back, neck, and shoulder, hot stone, pregnancy massage, Indian head massage. I have a couple of clients now that would have neuralgia from having previous cancer treatment. So they would get foot and leg massage, which they can get great benefit from. So yeah, like it really is, it's a wide range. And obviously then I do all the waxing, the Hollywoods, the Brazilians, leg wax and that. But it would be facials and massages would be the most popular treatments here.
And you've also just recently gotten the new skin scanner in.
The skin scanner, yeah, that's a game changer, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. So that takes 5 different pictures of your skin under different polarized lights. So it can show us your hydration levels, your pigmentation, your fine lines and wrinkles, your pores, your spots, your age spots. And it can also show what will happen with your skin if you change absolutely nothing in a couple of areas. So like with your pigmentation, it's showing you can show you what's deep in the skin and what can come out in 5 to 7 years if you change nothing with what you're doing. So what I say to all my clients that are coming in for the skin scan, I said, you now know what's going on with your skin. It's completely up to you whether you do anything about it or not. It'll also tell you what your skin age is. When I scanned myself first, now I would have always considered myself having good skin for my age. Like I'm going to be 56 in about 2 weeks' time. When I scanned myself first, my skin age was 63. And then I tweaked a few of my home care products. I did 3 of the ceramide therapy facials here in the salon every 5 to 6 weeks. And in 4 months, I took 5 years off my skin age. My fine lines and wrinkles dropped by over 16%. So my hydration levels were going through the roof. And it was literally just a few tweaks. And one of the things I really, really love about Juliette Amand is that the home care is so reasonable. You don't have to spend €500 for products to have good skincare. You can get it all for, at a really reasonable price. Like the Juliette Amand, I think they start at €30, and then the most expensive home care product, I think I'm going to say in the Elements range, is only at about €60. And like all of them are going to last you for a minimum of 3 months.
Incredibly reasonable.
Yeah, it's so reasonable and it's so effective. It's fantastic.
And in terms of the effectiveness of what you do, what I love about your field, and I told you this in the beginning, is how aesthetic it is in terms of social media, in terms of your website. For someone like me, it can be a bit more difficult to showcase the high quality of what I do, at least in an aesthetically pleasing way. So what I mean by that is, alright, so like we got amazing results for you. Your social media, I've been working with Val now for months, but the last month in particular on Instagram, we were talking about it before we hopped on the podcast, it's 217% up. And I mean, Val's social media has always performed well in general. So it's so literally, Val is at the point now where some people get so busy where they don't actually have time to do their own social media. You, in my opinion, you were always very tech savvy when it came to this. But what I love about what you do is that we showcase the high quality of what you do. So from befores and afters, you can actually see the effectiveness of what you do by just looking at the person.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas if I was to try do it from a digital marketing perspective, I'd be like, look at these results I got for Valerie. It's not really interesting. Let's be honest.
No, it's not. Like, I mean, you're building websites, so it's only when it's finished and people can have a look at a finished website. But even at that, they don't know how well it's performing.
Yeah.
Until you tell them how well it's performing, but they can't physically see that themselves. Whereas with the transformations, they can see it straight away,
100%. And what would be the most, is there any transformation you can think of now? I know you've had hundreds of thousands of them at this point, but can you think of a transformation off the top of your head? And you don't have to
the first content day that we did, and we did the PDRN microneedling on what was her name? Can't think of her name now. Oh my god,
The video, I remember.
that was just outstanding. I've never seen anything like it from one treatment. But so the PDRN microneedling is like a step up from microneedling that's been around for a while. It has the polynucleosides in it. It has salmon DNA in it. It has really high anti-inflammatory ingredients in it. So whereas the microneedling that's been around for a while would only ever be done once every 30 days, the PDRN is done once every 2 weeks. So it's like a 20-week program. So it's done once every 2 weeks for 5 sessions in the salon. So that's your 10 weeks. And then there's a home roller to use for once a week for 10 weeks. But like just one in salon session, the results are phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I know exactly what transformation you're talking about because it was kind of a home run. We both kind of knew because I always send Valerie the videos straight after. Anyone who'd be on a content day with me knows that I do 100 things at once. So I could be recording content for you, but I also could be editing in the background, writing the captions. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to see what content I just shot very, very quickly, if not on the day. So I remember we saw that and saw the effectiveness of it. And like it's an amazing field. The fact that you're able to do that, like I'm actually jealous, from because it's when I look at people like you and people in other fields, one of the biggest things they say is that I can't think of what to post. And I'm like, you have a whole wealth of content there right in front of you. It should be the
Absolutely,
opposite. It
yeah,
should be, I have too much to post.
yeah.
And what would be like, say, from a social media perspective, because I just want to touch on that, your digital marketing, because you're doing very, very well, well before me and you worked together. What do you think was maybe the biggest mistakes you would have made? Like, not so much like errors that would have affected what you were doing, but just things you might have been doing that you could have been doing better.
Um, Sometimes it's kind of like it's the overwhelm of the whole lot of it. Like, you probably remember there a couple of months ago, I had a little meltdown and I was texting you going, I can't do this anymore. I can't do social media. It's driving me fucking mad.
You signed up for
But
the
it's
other
just, it's kind of,
software.
it's more like it's trying to find the time to do everything. It's trying to think of new content to post all the time so that you're not repeating things all the time. I don't think there's any mistakes. Some of the posts probably weren't as polished as they could have been, where you were just trying to get something done because, you know what I mean, I hadn't posted in ages, and I was so busy in here, I was so busy with my personal life, just trying to make the ends meet and just trying to get everything done can be a little bit overwhelming. So, yeah, it's kind of more the quality of the content, I would say, more than the actual content itself.
Yeah, you're just at a point now where you need to outsource it because you're actually so busy. But the best thing about you, I always think of the funniest. Well, there's a lot. Anyone who works with Val will tell you do have a lot of laughs when you're
Oh
with
God,
Val.
yeah.
But I remember this is before we even met, and I say this to all my other clients, so they've probably heard this story a million times. The biggest mistake people make, um, it's it's at least it's maybe it's not as important as it used to be because of how dimensions have changed. But I always tell people if you're taking a video and you're posting on social media, make sure you do it vertically. If you're taking an image,
Oh,
make
the
sure you
rest
do it
you
horizontally.
horizontally.
And I remember you told me, I think it was the first time we met, you told me this because we had been talking for months before that. But you said you do hear a voice like my voice in
Yeah,
your
in the
head.
back of my head. Videos. Don't do that way. Do this way. Do that way. Do this way. Yeah. No, that's always every time I pick up the phone to do something, it's in the back of my head. No, you're doing it wrong, Val. That way. The picture. Come on, horizontal.
And
Come
it's
on,
such
video,
it
vertical. Come on, Val.
it's such a little like tweak that makes such a dramatic difference because
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
don't want those
Absolutely.
black letterboxes each side of your content where you can see it's in the wrong dimensions. And as well as that, I actually think And I don't know if you noticed this when you started posting the other style, but I actually think those posts perform worse. The ones with the letterbox effects and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they do.
I think definitely making that change is very, very important. So Val, finally, if people would want to book one of your amazing services, how can they do that?
Yeah, there's a number of ways. They can click the link in the bio on Instagram, or there is a link on the Facebook page. They can visit my website, www.brighteyesbeauty.ie, and there's a book now button there. They can email me at brighteyesbeauty@icloud.com. They can send me a DM on either Facebook or Instagram, or they can WhatsApp message or phone me on 089 617 1740.
And we will have all the links to Val's handles there. We will have them in the description below. Val, it was amazing to have you on. I'm
Thank
sure
you for
I'll be
having
having you
me.
on multiple times in the future. Um,
You'll be sick of listening to me and sick of looking at me, Jason. Come
would you
on.
stop? Would you stop? I always have always a great time for Val, and also you'll be seeing a lot of content I do be posting with Val. Who's performing very, very well due to the high quality of what she does, due to the fact we know who her audience is. So all we're doing is getting that content in front of that audience. And I finally want to say before we go off is that the results myself and Val have achieved together have been organic. So we haven't done any paid ads. Now we will be doing paid ads in the future, and that'll probably make for a great case study. But when you can achieve such great results organically, that's how you know you're doing very, very well online.
Yeah.
And Valerie with Bright Eyes Beauty Massage has been able to do that. So Val, it was great having you on, and we will touch base again soon.
Yeah. Thanks a million, Jason. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Val. So that's it for today's episode of the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. A huge thank you to Valerie Reid from Bright Eyes Beauty Massage for joining me and sharing her story, passion, and expertise in holistic beauty and advanced skincare. To learn more, visit brighteyesbeauty.ie or check the description for her contact details and social links. Thanks for listening. I'm Jason Flood, and I'll see you in the next episode.